Now, let's say, because I've heard this before, that it gets stored in connective tissue, it gets stored in fatty tissues. And if you do a provocation test, what you're seeing is what is already loosened out of there, what is already flowing through the system. So what about that? What about the people that may have high heavy metals in their body, but that's being stored because that's where it usually likes to go, in the brain, in the tissue, connective areas. How can we, how can we account for that then?
So you can't always, when you do something like especially hair sampling, blood sampling, and urine sampling, you're not always going to get 100% accurate picture. I obviously have worked at the clinic for 7 years. My Bible, if you will, is the BAH, because it does look at all of this information in the system as to really accurately representing information in the body. So you can't always get a super accurate picture, because you're right. If you have, super high levels of heavy metals that are lodged in your connective tissue or your brain or, your liver, your kidneys, and it's not being eliminated properly, you're not going to get 100% accurate result. But if you take the test and you're already seeing a little bit of a trend in a certain direction, like I said, like high levels of mercury or thallium or lead, you know that something has to be addressed. And if your body is already starting to push those things out, it's probably, and you're, above the age of 25, let's say, you probably have a little bit more going on in the body. And that kind of touches on too, which if we have time to get to, just the whole what I've talked to my patients about for 7 years, the process of proper detoxification and supporting terrain when you're chelating. And that is a huge misstep with so many patients that I can't even tell you the amount of people that have come to the clinic and said, Caitlin, I've done 20, 30, 40, 50 chelations. I've had these issues. Okay, so you're binding to these metals. That's great. But your liver is practically shut down because you have these infections. You drink heavily. Your diet is terrible. You have these energy imbalances in the liver. So you have to kind of look at everything all together, that holistic picture, versus just chelating.
Yeah. And we'll get into that in 1 second. I just want to backtrack a little bit in saying that you and I both know the best way to really assess anything is through multiple prisms. So if you're going to do lab tests, if you're going to do provocation tests, we also have things like oligo scan that are more spectrometry and look at the tissue a little bit. We have bioresonance testing. You have other ways. So you want to get a full picture. Sometimes one test isn't enough. And that's why we like looking at integrative and comprehensive type things and multiple tests to see that and really start to understand whether or not heavy metals are an issue for you.